Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Stamp With Me. Be sure to check out all of the other lovely ladies who are participating in the Stamp Palooza that we host every 2 weeks because you don't want to miss out. And there are some great projects this episode. So I'll also have my playlist link down below in case you haven't caught up on Stamp With Me episodes, because I don't want you to miss out on all the ideas I've shared so far. Today I'm actually doing a traveler's notebook project. This is part of my Craft Your Stash Away series. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll have that playlist linked down below. And if you're new here, I highly recommend you go watch that. That is a series that'll be occurring on my channel for the next 2 months that are upcoming, because we do series that are a little bit more in-depth rather than just normal process videos. But I'm so excited to be doing some stamping today and using some different inks. Now, it's been a while since I've stamped with colored ink, so I pulled out a different colors here to see which ones I wanted to use. Right now I have like an orange, yellowy orange, green, and like a dark blue navy color, and 3 are distress inks from Tim Holtz, and then 1 is from Momenta. The first steps is to swatch all of these to see if I do want them to go together. Again, it's been a while since I've used some of these, and other ones are brand new. I have not used them. That's how it usually goes with ink tubes though. You buy all the colors, you don't use some of the colors, because I mean honestly we don't love every color we buy. And I also wanted to see how they would react to this paper. This is not necessarily stamping paper, it is just my normal white cardstock, 80-pound, slightly thin, just to make sure it'll fit in the traveler's notebook just fine. I probably could have cut down my Nina Solar white cardstock to get better stamping impressions, but distress inks in general are not meant for stamping, they're meant for other inking techniques, but I use them anyway. The stamp set that I'm featuring is this little one here, which is actually from a Studio Calico kit that I purchased. They do some great sales with their old kits, and that's what I did with this one. I think this was like May 2015, but I really, really love this stamp set. It has a bunch of different circles with patterns. We have lines, dots, half circles, grids, fat circles, thin circles, all of the above. And I used my photo to mark the edges of where the photo would cover up, so I don't waste my time stamping a lot of things that won't end up being seen anyway. So I have those marks in pencil on my paper, and I'm just stamping around with my 3 colors here. And I'll have all the products that are still available listed down below in case you guys are interested in purchasing them, and buying through those links are helpful to support my channel at no additional cost to you. So I really, really enjoy the stamp set. I wish it was still available. If I can find a similar circle stamp set, I know I have one from Bo Bunny that's a larger version of this essentially, with some great circle accents, but nothing quite like this one. I decided to take my black ink and stamp this little guy here that says Happy Place from the same Studio Calico stamp set. And to be honest, these stamps carry the page. I don't use any pattern paper on this layout, and these types of techniques are great for those who want to try to use more of their tools and stamps, is not to use pattern paper. You definitely can combo them together, but this is a great way to stretch your creative muscles, to really use your ideas and use your tools in new ways. So I use them here to create essentially a pattern paper background. Now you'll see that I'm alternating colors and types of stamping. So essentially I will alternate a color as well as the shape that I stamped, to make sure it doesn't mirror exactly the same from the top and bottom, and that it also doesn't look repetitive across the seam there. There's one more little phrase stamp that'll fit inside these circles, and it says lots of fun, so I decided to stamp that as well. And you guys might not have noticed, but this is actually a roller coaster picture from Disney's Animal Kingdom, because this whole project is a Disney Traveler's Notebook. So if you are interested in Disney, I'll also have my Disney playlist linked down below. I have a ton of Disney spreads I've done over the last few years, and I have a whole playlist dedicated to it in case you're looking for some Disney inspiration. Here's where I start going through some of the embellishments in my little kit that I made for this project. And I do have these washi tape strips I want to remember, because they are a great color match for that yellow-orange, as well as a great way to add some pattern without the bulk of paper. I also managed to pull out some puffy stickers, which if you guys are into chunky traveler's notebooks, great time to use puffy stickers. I pull out an ampersand and that little heart, and I think I also pull out an arrow but don't end up using it, and those will all end up being little bits and pieces that really make the layout come together and feel a little bit less flat without too much bulk. Here I actually pull out another stamp. I used this recently on my traveler's notebook spread for a journaling block. These are some really, really old autumn leaves journaling stamps, and this one's my favorite. Just adds lines to your layout. If you guys have a favorite journaling stamp that adds these blocks of lines, let me know in the comments down below. I am looking for another one to give myself another option because, man, this one's getting used so much lately, and I just feel like it's very repetitive. Here's where I start to bring in some additional stickers. These are from the Simple Stories, I believe it's called Little Dude, and it is such a cute set. But as most of you guys know, if you do know me, I am very young and don't have my own children yet, so these child stamps and child-themed collections don't necessarily work all the time for subjects I am scrapbooking, but this one works well. This one happens to work well because a lot of these phrases could go well with roller coaster themes or with theme park themes. So even though you might buy things that are themed for something else, don't count them out too early because you might be able to leverage them on a layout about a different topic. And that's what I did here. I pull out some of the arrows that are fun, some of the thumbs ups, and a bunch of the phrases. And I know I want to do more stamping on the right hand side. And to be honest, my personal technique for scrapbooking jumps around a lot in terms of I don't do all my stamping at once and then start embellishing or start layering. I do some stamping, come back to stamping, planning, then we're using stickers, and that's just how I design things in my mind and how I go through my creative process. So here I'm going to take off the stickers that I now know where they're going to be placed so that I can add the stamps around them. And again, I pull out my Distress ink cubes here so I can start stamping. And I do want some of the stamps to go underneath the stickers. That's why I've pulled them up to be able to work with them a little bit better and make it seem more cohesive that the stickers weren't added on, then I had to stamp around them. This will make it seem like everything was intentional, which it was, but if I had stuck down those stickers, it would have made it a little bit more hodgepodge than if I had stamped first like this. Now I can lay that down. I have that stamp behind it. It's starting to look like something just coming together here. And these stickers really help me build out this layout, and this is something I've been doing a lot lately, is bringing out one embellishment pack or one sticker sheet or one sticker book and just letting that drive my layout and design and letting that be the majority of my layout design. And I think oftentimes we feel like we have to mix and match. It has to be wood veneer and die cuts and stickers and chipboard, but we don't always need all of those things, and especially when it comes to traveler's notebooks, sometimes you just need a lot of flat. So it is a lot more of just stickers or stamping or just some thin papers. But it really also depends on your style. So here I end up grabbing a bunch more pieces because I decide I am going to fill this page up with these stickers. When else when I use them? Their color match is perfect for all the stamping I've done. And once I've planned out my stickers, I then need to take them off so I can stamp underneath them. And I will say it's a lot more daunting to think about having to stamp a whole page versus the left-hand page that I did, which was just 2 strips. It was a lot easier to plan for than this, which has a lot more moving parts. And here you'll notice I'm going to stamp with the half circle, but I also want to stamp with a full circle, so I could, end up meeting those 2 sides together to make a full circle, but that's a little bit daunting in itself. And I also need to make sure that I'm rotating the different types of stamps I have going here with all the different types of circles and patterns I have. And then since some of the stickers are the same color as the inks, I want to make sure that I'm rotating the correct inks around so that they're not too close in color. And to add a little bit more organic feel to this, I end up using the asterisk stamp and my black ink pad to add a little bit of solidarity at the bottom there and to bring in more of that contrast that the black provides. And I'll bring that back into the rest of my layout as well once I finish stamping more of the stamps. And I don't really like stamping back and forth. I think this is quite a tedious process, and that's why a lot of people don't like stamping, because it tends to be a tedious process or a lot of work. But this was the most fun I've had with stamping in a while, and I think having the smaller format to work with and kind of planning it out beforehand was a lot more easy on the process for me. Even though this was one of my longest process videos this month, I think it helped me breathe and just relax and have fun with it instead of feeling like I'm going to mess this up. But don't forget, you can always cover up everything with stamping, and you'll actually might notice in the close-ups at the end that my paper did rip quite a few times because I had to pick up the stickers and put them back down, and sometimes the positions moved. But that's how it is sometimes. And I noticed here at the end that blue dotted circle I just stamped is actually the only circle that overlaps. I don't know why I did that. I definitely should have kept them all separate, but you win some, you lose some. Here I'm grabbing another stamp that says details, and I think I'm going to stamp that in my black ink. But first I wanted to sort of patch up all of these random sections that weren't closed. So I have the phrase stickers from the Simple Stories collection. Again, same sticker set, really powering through and just using as much as I can and filling in some gaps with those. And sometimes I feel like we overstamp or we understamp and then we don't know what to do. But just look through your embellishments, find something that can fit in your awkward spots if you think you have them, or leave the awkward spots. You do need some white space on your layouts, so don't forget about that. Here I'm going to trim my stickers that were sticking off the top edge there, but I mean that layout on the right hand side came together fairly quickly. Granted, it was just stamping and some stickers, and then the left hand side's getting pasted into place with my ATG adhesive, but I still can't believe how this came out and how much I actually liked how it came out. I definitely had a plan in mind when I started, but that doesn't mean it's going to come out that way. Here I add a couple little pieces. These are some puffy stickers from Pink Fresh Studio. Just to use them up, I knew this red would match really well, and then I end up using this black to emphasize the arrow on the secondary title. So let me know what you guys think the title of this layout should be. That one's a tricky one because there's a lot of words. I think "Aw yeah" is definitely the title. In my opinion, it's the most prominent because it's in the center, but that might just be me. Here I remember I have those tiny washi tapes and I didn't use them, but don't worry, I used them on a future layout, so that worked out nicely. I do end up going through my sticker book here from American Crafts. It's the everyday one, which is just their normal collection, not by designer, and I don't end up pulling anything out of it, but it's nice to go through things sometimes to try to see if you need a final touch. I definitely thought there was a gap here, and I end up filling it with this here, and it is a circle, but it says "always be curious," so I end up covering that and, you know, merging it with that blue dot there, and I think it reads well. But here are the close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's a little bit longer, but this did take me a long time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and don't forget to check out everyone else with Stamp With Me this episode. I adore how this came out, and I hope you guys did too. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As you can see in the close-ups, lots of little mistakes and lots of pooling with the ink, but that's okay. Not everything is perfect, and practice makes perfect. So keep on stamping, and you guys will love it soon enough. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys!